We, the jury, find unanimously that the defendant did not cause the death of Botham Jean while under the immediate influence of sudden passion arising from inadequate cause, and assess the defendant's punishment at 10 years imprisonment in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. In addition, we assess a fine of $0, and it's signed by the presiding juror.
Convicted murderer Amber Guyger was sentenced by the jury to just 10 years. That's part of the headline tonight that we're talking about. Amber Guyger was convicted. Murder was the charge. The range for this jury was anywhere from 5 years to life in prison. They came back with 10. Prosecutors asked for 28. The victim's family's attorneys talked about the number 25. But they came back with 10. And after that moment, inside the courtroom, outside the courtroom, some outrage from folks whose own family members had been victims of police shootings, and people who were outraged by that number 10, which they felt was clearly way too low for a murderer. Take a listen. So you have that outrage outside in the courthouse. But back inside the courtroom, things were not over. In Texas, after the jury has decided what the sentence is, the victims still have an opportunity for a victim impact statement. But in Texas, things are much different. In most states, victim impact statements, the statements have to be directed to the judge, to the court. They're not allowed to speak directly to the defendant. But in Texas, they are. So what happened next is something I've never seen, something I've never witnessed. I've been covering these trials for more than 2 decades. The biggest, most compelling, most emotional moments I have experienced in courtrooms around this country. But never, ever, ever have I seen what happened today. The victim's brother got up on the stand to talk directly to Amber Guyger about how the loss of his brother, the murder of his brother, has impacted him and his family. And he started talking out, of course, about the loss of Botham Jean, who we've learned through this trial was an amazing young man who had done amazing things already but had this incredible future in front of him. And the love that is in that family, and most importantly, the faith that they all shared. And Botham Jean, we've seen pictures of him singing gospel. We heard testimony during the trial, how every morning started with a gospel song from Botham Jean. And today, when his brother took the stand, that love, that faith came out in a way that I have never witnessed, and I can't imagine anyone was expecting to happen, except perhaps Botham Jean himself. Take a look at what was the biggest moment of the day, of the trial, of the year, of any moment I have ever witnessed inside a courtroom.
I don't want to say twice or for the 100th time what you've or how much you've taken from us. I think you know that. But I hope you go to God with all the guilt, the bad things you may have done in the past. Each and every one of us may have done something that we're not supposed to do. If you truly are sorry, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you. And I know if you go to God and ask Him, He will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even behalf of my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ. I'm not gonna say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person. And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That young man changed a life today. He brought the love of his brother inside that courtroom like no one else could possibly have done, and taken that love and tried to give it to a convicted murderer who's going to get out in 10 years. So maybe that convicted murderer is going to live a more loving, productive life, and maybe when she gets out, she'll be a different person. And she'll be someone that can perhaps spread the love from Botham Jean to the rest of this world.